So let's talk about the parts of architecture. I've mentioned before that we've got business architecture, and in most organizations you have business architects, and they may not be part of the enterprise architecture group. They might be operating somewhat separately. Sometimes they're in the business. There's a lot of different models for that. But those are the people that are focused on a business domain and really help to understand what that domain is trying to achieve. They're also the people that have the deeper understanding into the processes and other things that make up that domain and the applications they use, et cetera. So they might have very specific domain knowledge within the business. The second area is application or solution architecture. And these are the people that are building applications or doing a lot of the integration that's associated with the applications. Now, in this case, they're almost always in IT, and they're typically either sometimes senior level developers or are acting as solution architects, and other times you actually have roles that represent solution architecture. And again, they're the key design resources. The third area is data architecture or information architecture, and these are, again, typically in IT, although sometimes there's an information management group in the organization and they'll reside there. And these are the people that focus on our data designs, really understanding the data that's in the systems, but then also representing it to people in a business context, essentially, or a canonical format that's not aligned to any one system. So they can really talk about the data and understand the information of the organization. And they're often involved in some of the information strategies that are so important today. And then the fourth area would be your infrastructure architects. And those are the people that focus on either if it's an on-premise data center, all of the network and security and components that fall into there. I typically consider the security architecture part of this group usually, although they tend to get involved in different areas, some of the solution, et cetera. And the infrastructure architects really handle also the cloud components. A lot of companies today have both an on-premise data center as well as cloud implementations. So how is all that stitched together from a wide area network perspective, et cetera? That's where the infrastructure architects focus. And you may have noticed that I mentioned that not all these people are in IT in some organizations. So again, your EA program has to figure out how am I facilitating across all these different roles, and we're all working towards the same goal and objective. So typically you have a chief architect or a VP of enterprise architecture, someone like that, who is kind of providing the glue across these resources. So a key part of our model is helping to create that team cohesiveness. And again, we work in scenarios where the team is more centralized and other scenarios where it's highly decentralized. We've had some customers that are large global organizations. They've got architects not only in different units, but in different regions, et cetera. So part of our model is how do you create a program of collaboration that gets these people working together? And again, also, how do you have a clear technical and business vision so that everybody's pulling in the same direction on the oars, essentially. And that's a key part of our model.